Hi, this is Dr. Selva-Mary Gokila S. George, Assistant Professor of English, Holy Cross College, Autonomous, Nagarpuri. The title is Children's Literature and Fantasy Literature. Children's literature. Children's literature refer to written and illustrated works that are specially created for children. These works include a wide range of genres, themes, and formats, including picture books, chapter books, middle grade novels, and young adult fiction. Children's literature play an essential role in the development of language skills, imagination, empathy, and thinking abilities in young readers. Characteristics of children's literature. Age appropriateness. Children's literature are written with different age groups in mind. The intended audience reading level, understanding skills, and emotional development. Themes and topics. Children's literature explores a diverse range of themes such as friendship, family, adventure, self discovery, problem solving, and moral lessons. Illustrations. Many children books are accompanied by illustrations or pictures that help young readers visualize the story and characters, make the reading experience more enjoyable and comprehensible. Language. Children's literature uses language that is suitable for the intended age group. Picture books and your early readers often use simple language, while books for older children may introduce more complex vocabulary and sentence structures. Character development. Strong character development is a common feature in children's literature. Characters often evolve throughout the story, allowing readers to connect with them on a personal level and learn from their experiences. Imagination and creativity. Children's literature encourages imagination and creativity by introducing young readers to fantastical worlds, magical creatures, and imaginative situations. Educational value. Many children's books aim to educate as well as entertain. It introduces new concepts, culture, historical events, and scientific ideas in an engaging manner. Genres for children's literature: biographies, children's poetry, children's stories, fables, fairy tales, fantasy fiction, and fiction. Story elements in children's literature include theme, plot, setting, characters, conflict, point of view, tone, and style. Few examples of children's literature: Where the Wind Things Are, Maurice Sendak, a beloved picture book. It tells the story of Max, a young boy who travels to the land of the wild things. Charlotte Webb's E.B. White, a heartwarming tale about the friendship between a pig named Wilbur and a spider named Charlotte, who work together to save Wilbur's life. A theme of love, friendship, sacrifice, and courage are woven together throughout the story. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. It is an imaginative and strange journey of a girl named Alice. She explores a fantastical world filled with strange characters. The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, a classic story of friendship and adventure featuring human-like animals like mole, rat, and toad. They help. They try to help Mr. Toad after he becomes obsessed with motor cars and gets into troubles. Peter Pan by J. M. Barrie, the tale of the boy who never grows up and his adventures in the magical world of Neverland. The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, a story about a young girl named Mary Lennox. She discovers a hidden, neglected garden and brings it back to life. The Velveteen Rabbit by Marguerite Williams, a touching tale about a toy rabbit who is loved so much that he becomes real. The rabbit is a Christmas gift to a boy. He becomes real through the love of his owner. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia series which transports children to a magical land. They confront challenges and experience heroic adventures. Fantasy literature. Fantasy literature. Fantasy literature is a genre of fiction that involves the creation of imaginary worlds, magical elements, and fantastical creatures. It often revolves around adventures, quests, and the clash between good and evil. A fantasy is something you imagine, which might involve dragons, unicorns, or an imaginary beast animal. It can also be a dream and imagination. Characteristics of fantasy literature. Characteristics of fantasy literature. World building. World building is the process of constructing a world, originally an imaginary one, sometimes associated with fictional universe. Authors create entire fictional universes with their own rules, cultures, languages, and history. Magic and supernatural elements. Magic, spells, mythical creatures, and supernatural phenomena are common in fantasy stories. These elements add a sense of wonder and mystery to the narrative. Heroic journeys. Many fantasy stories feature heroes embarking on epic journeys or missions. These journeys often involve overcoming challenges, facing villains, and discovering their own strength. Conflict between good and evil. The battle between good and evil is a central theme in fantasy literature. Heroes and protagonists often encounter wicked forces or enemies who try to disturb the balance of the world. Symbolism and allegory. Fantasy literature frequently employs symbolism and allegory to explore real world themes and issues. It allows the reader to interpret the story on multiple levels. Escapism. Fantasy literature offers readers an escape from reality by immersing them in imaginative and enchanting worlds. It allows for a break from the restrictions of everyday life. Examples of fantasy literature. The Lord of Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, a classic high fantasy series that follows the journey of a group of characters to destroy a powerful ring and save the world. Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, a modern fantasy series centered around a young wizard named Harry Potter and his friends, all of whom are students of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft. The book was an immediate success, appealing to both children and adults. The Chronicles of Narnia by G. S. Lewis, a series of seven fantasy novels set in the magical land of Narnia, where children have adventures and encounter tricky situations. His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman. It is a series that blends fantasy with elements of science fiction exploring themes of consciousness, destiny, and parallel universe. James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. Through a series of strange and magical happenings, James finds himself in a giant peach with a bunch of friendly giant insects for traveling companions. James' relationship with the strange insects living in the peach allow him to learn that sometimes the best friendship arise from the most unexpected encounters. City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. Clary has to travel to the City of Glass, the ancestral home of the Shadow Hunters, in order to save her mother's life. Entering the city without permission is against the law, and breaking the law could mean death. Conclusion. Children's literature apts to include a variety of opinions, perspectives, and topics that speaks to the needs of young readers. It holds a special place in shaping children's love for reading and storytelling. Fantasy literature stands as a remarkable evidence to the power of imagination and storytelling. This genre has captured readers of all ages by transporting them to the realms beyond the boundaries of reality through its enchanting narratives, imaginative worlds, and fantastical elements. Thank you.